This presentation was paid for by CGTN. The opinions, views, and claims expressed are those of CGTN and may not necessarily reflect those of CNBC.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Meet China. I'm Lily Lu. Today we will dive into the heart of innovation and resilience, uncovering stories shaping the future. We will discover one of the largest crystal markets in the world, and then we will meet some Generation Z farmers who are redefining agriculture through a hit reality show. And finally, we will see how a seemingly barren land has sprung to life. Now, for many people, the allure of crystal is simply irresistible. In East China's Jiangsu province lies a sprawling crystal wholesale market boasting over 7,000 shops. It has emerged as a major trading hub internationally and domestically. Now let's delve behind the success of this market and understand what makes it a sparkling hotspot on a global stage. Welcome to the world's biggest crystal market.
This is Donghai, a county in East China's Jiangsu province. It's well known as the crystal town of China, with crystal reserves estimated to be around 300,000 tons, accounting for more than half of the country's total. Covering an area of about 450,000 square meters and with a history of over 2 decades, the county's crystal wholesale market is home to more than 7,000 crystal-related shops and has become a national focal point for the crystal trade throughout the domestic and international markets.
So all these are made from crystals. Let me try one on. 你好，可以试一个吗？谢谢。Let's see how it looks. Oh, it goes well with the color of my jacket, doesn't it? Looks pretty.
Among the 1.2 million people that live here, roughly 300,000 of them work in the crystal industry. Together, they generated an annual trade volume of 40 billion yuan last year, with over 60% of that figure attributed to those that export overseas through live streams and e-commerce platforms.
We have witnessed a rapid increase in cross-border online sales. The last quarter's revenue reached $3 million, and on an annual basis, we have achieved a 300% year-on increase. The number of our live streamers have increased from 30 to over 100, and we're still hiring. The demand is real.
As part of the broader push to boost the county's burgeoning crystal industry overseas, the local government launched the Donghai Crystal Cross-Border E-commerce Trading Center in 2019 and has developed a digital service platform to support various facets of cross-border e-commerce. It not only provides skilled training for local residents, but also incorporates cross-border logistics, export customs clearance, foreign exchange settlement, and cross-border networks.
By integrating online platforms and offline services, it's become more than just a market, but a comprehensive ecosystem that spans the entire process, and one that also enhances the efficiency of expanding the global footprint of the local crystal products.
After integrating supply chains in the e-commerce trading ecosystem, online retailers here no longer need to worry about excess supply as they do in ordinary e-commerce studios, which largely helps them keep costs low.
Rainbow trees in here, okay?
For retail live streamers, they can promote and sell any product in the wholesale center just by using their phone.
Well, it's already 10 p.m. local time now, but the live streamers in Donghai County have just entered their busiest time as they set their sights on the TikTok shoppers in the United States and Europe, hawking these little lovely crystal products to a potentially lucrative market.
Yeah, because our price is good, the most important things. A little heart in US $30, $40 like this size. In our place, $5 to $6, why not?
And sometimes it's not just about the price, but also about the quality and the variety. The county was credited as the World Craft City for Crystals by the United Nations in 2016. Though local crystal mining has been halted to protect the environment, various sources of raw materials from nearly 100 countries are brought back to the county for centralized processing.
Well, latest data shows that approximately 40,000 tons of raw crystal materials are imported by Donghai on an annual basis. But what happens next is even more vital in enabling this industry. As you can see behind me, the town has attracted many master artisans crafting these raw materials into a wide array of crystal products.
The processing time for a masterpiece like this would be 1 to 2 years, and it could cost as much as 2 million yuan. Over the past few years, the local government has implemented many favorable policies, such as tax reductions to attract highly skilled artisans specializing in crystal cutting, engraving, and other essential processes to settle in the county. According to Li Zheng, the chair of the Donghai Crystal E-commerce Association, these efforts continue to this very day.
We are planning to build a crystal processing industrial park, which is expected to cover 2 million square kilometers, and will continue to roll out more talent attraction policies focused on artisans to open processing studios in Donghai and ultimately integrate them into our supply chain.
However, similar to other counties in China, Donghai has had its own uphill battle, luring and retaining skilled workers. Much of this boils down to talent acquisition or a lack of thereof. Local crystal industry have faced e-commerce talent shortages due to a lack of qualified applicants and inadequate skills. To address the problem, Mr. Li says the county plans to further focus on e-commerce training and aim to empower more local people with practical and relevant skills.
We will strengthen training and help enterprises communicate with their customers more efficiently and effectively. We will also help them improve their customer service and after-sales service to offer a better purchasing experience for the customer.
With ambitions of becoming a global hub for all things crystal, Donghai is striving to ensure that their products shine both at home and abroad, and that their business ecosystem continues to thrive. Zheng Chunying, CGTN, Donghai, Jiangsu Province.
This presentation was paid for by CGTN. The opinions, views, and claims expressed are those of CGTN and may not necessarily reflect those of CNBC.
Becoming a Farmer is making waves as a popular reality show. It follows 10 determined young people learning the ropes of farming. These young stars have captivated audiences on China's social media with their journey. Let's meet with one of them, Zhao Xiaotong, who started as a novice on the show and has blossomed into a skilled farmer, inspiring many along the way.
It's called the vertical agriculture model. I designed this as a 4-layer. First, at the bottom is the yellow chives. It should be stay in the shade, so we cover them with a black cloth. The mushroom is in the middle, the sprouts on the top. When we water the sprouts, the water will also drop down to the mushrooms. So it saves the water at the same time.
It's very effective.
Yeah, I'm also trying to set up 4th layer called the green bean, and it will wind up.
Meet Zhao Xiaotong, a young farmer and entrepreneur working in Hangzhou's rural area with 9 other like-minded young people. Together, they have been cultivating a 30-hectare allotment, and they are now helping nearby smallholders increase both productivity and sales.
My main goal is to increase the output value of the field without increasing the area. All the crops I grown, like the yellow chives, mushrooms, sprouts, and also the green beans, the growth conditions is similar. Growth circle is short, so we can harvest and earn quickly.
In 2022, as a new graduate from the Central Academy of Drama, Zhao Xiaotong was new to agriculture, much like many young people living in the city. The same was true for his 9 partners who come from diverse backgrounds. A reality show, Become a Farmer, brought them together, also witnesses these newcomers grown to be dab hands and working in the fields.
There are many misunderstandings about young people. Every generation tends to think that the next is not as good as theirs. Through our interactions with today's youths, we find that they are not aimless, as thought by many. We wanted to create a show that could speak up for the young people, allowing them to express themselves and showcase their strengths, but we didn't want it to be staged.
这样的一个展现。
Our show is like a labor documentary and also like a interactive program that shows the entire labor process to the audience. Our programs has long videos and also the short videos that was filmed by ourselves. Even we have the live stream. Sometimes it's like 5 times a week, from the structure to the details. Our audience can know the challenges of the farmers, familiarize themselves with various farm machinery, and the most important is to know that we should cherish the food. It's definitely a fresh and new experience to all of us.
那为什么会选择土地呢？
The show is filmed on the fields because you can see tangible results. The amount of efforts you put in decides how much you get. Through this reality show, we hope to turn the spotlight on young people who work hard and see their hard work being rewarded, allowing them to do something they can truly control. As for our decision to select these 10 candidates, we firmly believe it was the right choice.
我们当时做那个决定是对的。
This is the glass greenhouse in use now, and we got roses here and also the pipers inside. Yeah, that's the endive that I planted, and also there is the kale. This is the hydroponic cultivation setup. We used to plant the lettuce here, and now we plant thyme. All the nutrients that the plants need are in this liquid. You can see that they really grow evenly. This side is the strawberries, and we planted in raised beds, and it's about 30,000 seeds here. It's available for harvesting now. Last season we harvested the wheat, roses, the shrimps, fish. This season variety of these crops are increasing, about 20. Also we just make them into the food products to the market, maybe to the internet, various way to sell them. We have to make our own products different from others. And that's the reason I believe that the customers want to buy us.
What were the most significant challenges you've encountered along the way?
Difficulties and challenges are always here, whether it's working in a tough weather or packing the items or lifting tons of stuffs. We always face them head on and just figure them out actively. And we also bring these issues during the meeting, that we can learn from them, also improve them. Every day we gain new ideas and grow.
Hard work has paid off. They not only reap crops, but have also garnered attention and fame. Tens of millions of viewers follow their live streams. Their products sell out in seconds, and discussions about them frequently trend on social media.
节目播到现在吧，的确是有一定的声量。
The show has drawn people's attention and is really popular. Among our viewers, a lot of them love these 10 attendees and say the show is healing, that it brings out passion, enthusiasm, and that it's about dream. I think there's one aspect that's rarely mentioned. The show really tells a story. The audience is able to see the entire process as the attendees grow and change. The relationship is just one stage in the growth process, and their understanding of life and themselves is another stage. How they become familiar with crops is another one. Viewers can see them making progress, and is probably one of the reasons why people enjoy the show. It demonstrates that putting in efforts truly yields results. This ties back to the initial concept of the show. Many young people feel powerless and pushed around, unable to take control of anything. But here, we can see that these 10 young individuals are in charge, whether it's about the land, their life, or their work. Although our productivity might not significantly contribute to Chinese agriculture, we can play the role of cheerleaders. New farmers are crucial to the future of Chinese agriculture. With more elderly people working in the fields, agriculture is bound to shift towards intensification. Young people are coming together, leveraging technologies to plan and produce on the land. China's arable land only accounts for about 9% of the world's total. Yet China has nearly 25% of the global population. Food security is critically important. While the older generation used sickles and threshers, the young generation will turn to technologies, whether it is smart agriculture or AI integration in the future. These are the things that young people will focus on.
What technologies have you applied here?
Drip irrigation system, as you can say, it's throughout the entire field to save water effectively. That's the detection instruments that will provide timely data like soil moisture and soil temperature and other data. And all these facilities are connected to the internet, so we can just use them from our phone. Well, this is the water and fertilizer machine, and it provides the water and fertilizer through these pipes. At the same time, it also saves the time and effort.
It free your labor forces, right?
Yeah.
You can just control it remotely.
Yeah.
As one of today's new farmers, what factors do you reckon driving the growing number of young people coming back to villages and opting to work in the field?
Well, first, I think the Chinese modern agriculture is developing faster. With the hard work, it could be the profitable, not just a low-income industries. And second, the working hour is flexible. It can be decided by individuals. And also, the internet is convenient. And there's also many opportunities for young people to sell their crops or the products. So I believe that it's a future trend that more new farmers will return to their countryside.
You've interacted with many other new farmers. What role do you see young people can play in rural revitalization and in the shaping of China's future agriculture?
Young people will play a leading role in the future of the China agriculture because the traditional industries need the young blood for the new vitality. The responsibility today lies with no others but us, the young. It's a big responsibility, and we still got a long way to go.
Speaking of responsibility, on National Tree Planting Day, you went to Jiangsu province and you planted 180,000 trees within a week in a desert there. What were the motivations behind?
We gained some attention through this program, and we just want to raise the awareness of the situation in the desert of Jiangsu. And we also want to inspire more young people to get involved to more social welfare activities through our own experience.
I see you are also doing live streamings to help farmers, right?
We want to help more farmers to raise their fields or the income. We will do more of these activities.
The land has given us so much, and we are deeply grateful. This is something we, including the 10 young farmers, truly believe in. We haven't actually done that much, but the land has given us far more than we initially imagined. As you watch the show, you see the 10 people failing to sow seeds because it rains. The week after, the seeds are sprouting, and after a while, the wheat fields turn lush green. This outcome is not something we created, but it's what the land has given us. Throughout this process, we've just stayed grounded and completed our work without getting carried away.
As a group, you made your debut on CMG Spring Festival Gala. What was it like to be on a national stage?
That performance was like a dream. Yeah, we were beyond excited or surprised to be invited to that stage. I can explain it through our slogan of the program is Believe in the Land. Maybe it sounds a little bit abstract, but I have to say that it's the power of the land bring us to that stage.
And you will continue believing in the land, right?
Yeah, sure.
开工了，好，有种热血的感觉，为什么？吃我今天做大做强。
This presentation was paid for by CGTN. The opinions, views, and claims expressed are those of CGTN and may not necessarily reflect those of CNBC.
Let's now shift our focus to another fascinating farming story set against the backdrop of the Gobi Desert. Local farmer Wang Yu has spent his life saving in growing goji berries in this desolate landscape. Through years of hard working and dedication to improve the soil, his persistence has finally paid off. His efforts are not only transforming the land, but also guiding his village toward prosperity.
Like this land. From afar, it looks like covered in snow. Wrong. It's saline-alkali, white, barren land, a familiar sight to Wang Yu, who grew up here. It used to be said that nothing could grow on saline-alkali land. Time and time again, it had been tried, always with the same result. It wasn't even worth trying. What Wang Yu didn't expect was that his future would become bound up with this barren land, all thanks to a plant. Wild goji shoots neither flower nor bear fruit, but that doesn't mean they're useless. Berryless though they be, their young tender shoots are rich in nutrients. 10 years ago, Wang Yu, who once worked as a chef, discovered a business opportunity in these sprouts. He began experimenting with the picking and processing of the goji shoots. As people's awareness of health has increased, the demand for nutritious foods has also grown.
In May 2015, we began purchasing the shoots. By 2019, the demand had grown immensely and supply could no longer meet it.
Wang Yu decided to grow goji shoots on his own. Upon hearing this news, many cities and counties approached him, offering various incentives to get him to start operations in their regions. But Wang Yu was drawn to a place that most wouldn't give a second glance: salty, alkaline Guangrong Village. As its village secretary put it to him, "We've heard that goji shoots can tolerate salt and alkali. Can you help us?" So despite the skepticism of family and friends, Wang Yu retained an open mind about Guangrong Village.
When I first came here in winter, the land was glaring white, covered in salt and alkali. When my father arrived, he stood at the edge of the land and said, "What can grow here? Can this land even yield grain?" I wasn't willing to accept that. Having grown up in a village and seeing so many villagers need help, I felt that I had to do something.
From then on, Wang Yu started experimenting, setting his sights on yearly goals.
In the first year, we planted rice and corn in the land, applied organic fertilizer, and made sure not to waste any of the straw. We shredded the straw and mixed it back into the soil.
It was only after a whole year of soil improvement that Wang Yu decided to plant his first batch of goji shoots the following spring.
We chose the best land, the one with the lightest salt and alkali content. At first, the survival rate was very high, but as the plants grew, the salt and alkali levels increased, and the seedlings stopped growing. I thought it was too bad, and I would lose all the money, which was 2.1 million yuan.
At that time, the piece of advice that Wang Yu heard most frequently was, "Make sure you cut your losses and get out in time." He wavered. But a scene he had seen was something he would never forget.
When we were to plant the goji shoots, we initially planned to hire 100 people on the first day, but nearly 500 people showed up. They rushed to the gate, pushed it open, and all of them dropped to the ground. They were so eager to get a job. Coming from a rural background myself, I could empathize with them. People had to find a way to survive. I needed to live, too. I had to make something of myself. I invested all my savings into this land. Basically, I was gambling everything on it. Take it out and have a look.
We usually measure this part. It's 2 centimeters.
There's more to growing crops on saline-alkali land than just hard work and perseverance. Innovation is also required. Fortunately for Wang Yu, technicians from the Ningxia Academy of Agriculture and Forestry Sciences were on hand to help. They developed a new variety of goji shoots suitable for saline-alkali soils and optimized hard branch cutting techniques to maximize the survival rate of the plants. After that, all they could do was leave the rest to time. April. Time to plant a new batch of goji shoots. Over the years, the farmers in Guangrong Village have become dab hands at this.
The seedlings are short. Insert them deeper.
Wang Ning, always restless, often comes to check on the fields. The goji shoots are growing steadily, and the once quiet saline-alkali land of Guangrong Village has become lively.
Look at these women. This is something they invented. It's called easy to sit. Ma'am, may I have a look at your stool? Let me try it. Do you think it can hold up?
Yes.
Okay. Look, sit down, stand up, sit down. It feels light and comfortable, and the material is good. These women are clever. You see this pipe here? We're using this water-saving irrigation system. All the pipes are buried underground, and we divert water exactly where it's needed. We've diverted water from the Yellow River into our reservoir. After it's filtered, it's pumped into the pipes. This way, we're able to reduce our use of Yellow River water.
On this saline-alkali land, the water from the Yellow River nourishes the roots of the goji shoots, bringing a vibrant green to the fields. A unique industry is thriving on what was once the barren Gobi Desert. This fills Wang Ning with a deep sense of accomplishment.
Now, more than 130 hectares are planted with goji shoots, and some of the land has been fully improved, allowing for the normal cultivation of grains. What was once a vast, white expanse has turned green, looking beautiful and like a tea plantation. That sense of achievement is even more fulfilling than winning 5 million yuan in the lottery or making 10 million yuan.
It's been a long, busy day. Time for Wang Ning to prepare a few simple dishes for himself. As the gentle breeze blows, his heart is filled with joy.
This is common sow thistle. During the grain rain in spring, we should eat 3 sprouts. They include Chinese tune sprouts and alfalfa sprouts.
And also peanut sprouts.
And elm seeds. They are only available during the grain rain. These are goji sprouts.
We should eat the food that's in season.
Spring is the time for picking sprouts. We'll harvest them in April. I hope we can have an abundant harvest. Come on, eat more meat and more vegetables. Returning to my hometown in the countryside to start a business has truly been a matter of passion. It also brings a great sense of accomplishment. The people of Guangrong Village now greet me warmly whenever they see me, and we get along well. For me, or for any business, making money isn't the most important thing. The recognition and approval from those around you are what truly matter.
It is time to wrap things up in this edition of Meet China. From the glittering market to the resilient souls in the Gobi Desert, these stories really is a reflection of the heart and soul of modern China. In next week's episode, we will continue to uncover the rich tapestry of life in this dynamic nation. I'm Lily Lu, and I'll see you next week.
This presentation was paid for by CGTN. The opinions, views, and claims expressed are those of CGTN and may not necessarily reflect those of CNBC.